Good morning, everybody. This is Gertrude here in Wellington, New Zealand. I had a lot of fun yesterday introducing you to my little stepdaughter, Sienna. Thank you for tuning in and for contributing with all your questions and comments. She had a lot of fun. She says she would love to do it again the next time she comes to Wellington. So you might just see her on one of my calls. So today I want to talk about how you can learn to trust your intuition. So what is intuition? I think that's something really important for a lot of people out there who have asked me this question. I have always been extremely intuitive in everything I've done in my life, all the way from making major decisions, deciding to do things that make no sense to anyone but me most of the time. And a good definition of intuition is that it's that ability to understand something instinctively with no need for conscious reasoning. So it's your gut feeling. It's how you learn from within. And I believe that everybody is intuitive. And the difference between the people who seem to use their intuition more wisely and those who don't seem to use it so much is that it's practice. When I started being made aware that I was very intuitive, I would get questions from some of my friends who would ask me how I made a certain decision or what my thinking process was around making very major decisions in my life. And it had me stop and really think, because I then realized that I hadn't really used my head to make such decisions. It was more of a feeling that I had rather than my rationalizing how I was going to come to a point to go left or go right. So they say that when you know the truth by how it feels. So it could even be having a conversation with someone and really tuning in and having that gut feel that they're not being totally honest with you. The minute you start questioning, is that the truth? You need to just lean into that a little bit more and explore it. And 9 times out of 10, you will find that you are actually right about how you're feeling. So intuition speaks in whispers. And like I said, sometimes it's just a feeling, and we tune into this gift very, very differently. Sometimes my intuition talks to me like a voice, and I can actually hear that, no, I don't think that's a good idea, or why don't you go left and why don't you go right? So, like I said, sometimes it speaks in whispers, and you really have to tune in to be able to hear it and be able to use it. So your gut, the lower part of your stomach is where your gut is. And I sometimes feel my intuition right there as a quivering feeling of uneasiness, is the only way I can describe it. And sometimes I get excited and I get a surge of energy that I really can't explain around a certain thing, around a certain decision that I'm trying to make. And when I feel that energy, I know I'm on the right track. I don't question it. I don't doubt it. And I trust it. And I think it's because I've used it so many times. Your intuition is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And the stronger it gets, the more you use it. I'm going to repeat that. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And the stronger it gets, the more you use it. Now, women have a very, very, very strong intuitive sense. And I think nature gave us this gift as a way to protect ourselves from danger. I run a lot of workshops around the world, especially around empowering women and women's empowerment. And I get to hear a lot of women's stories of situations that they've been in, women who've been physically abused, women who are battered in their homes, women who have been raped. And when we go back to talking about their experiences, they always say, I had a feeling that something was off, or I had a feeling I shouldn't have gone to that party, or there was something strange about that guy that I couldn't quite put my finger on. Now, ladies, you know what I'm talking about. And the sad thing is, we doubt that feeling. And yet it is one of the strongest gifts that we have. As a species, it's a way that nature has given us a tool to protect ourselves from danger, to help us make those right decisions. And we doubt it. So when you feel it coming, trust it, tune into it. Your hunches are based on facts, experiences that you have filed away and stored just underneath your conscious mind. So your subconscious collects all of these experiences that you've ever had in life. And then you say, oh, I had a hunch that this was the right thing to do, or it just felt right. And you can't explain why it just felt right. But throughout your life, you have been collecting a series of experiences that have taught you to tune in when you're right and have taught you to tune in when you're wrong. So thank you for inspiring this question. This question came from a friend of mine in South Africa. Intuition, how do you trust your gut? So I started running a workshop to try and help other women strengthen that muscle. And I'll share a little bit about this workshop with you now in case you're interested. One of the things that I get the people who come to my workshops to do is to go back to milestones in their lives where they have made some major life-changing decisions. And it could start off with you as a young woman or a young man finishing high school and trying to make a decision on what career path to take. Now, 9 times out of 10, you had a feeling that the decision you're about to make isn't the right one. And then maybe your parents stepped in and they helped rationalize your making that decision based on their aspirations of who you should be. And you went a completely different way from what you would have wanted because you didn't trust your gut. So from a very early age, when you start making those major life decisions, you can actually figure out which way you're supposed to go or not. So I'm speaking particularly to young people who might be listening to this call. Trust your gut. If it doesn't feel right, find a way to try and explain that to your parents, explain it to your folks that, I don't really think this is the thing for me. Because when you're making a career choice, it's something that you might be stuck with for a very long time, or you might be stuck with it for the rest of your life. And then you wonder why you hate your job, you hate your career, and it's just because you made the wrong decision around it. So that's when you're trying to make a career change or a career decision. If you are deciding to get married, I've talked to a lot of people who are now divorced, and I always get them to go back to how they felt when they made the decision to get married to that particular person. And again, a lot of people will say, it didn't feel quite right, but he seemed like a nice guy. Or it didn't feel quite right, but I think I made the right choice. Trust your intuition. It guides you. It tells you if you're making the right decision around the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with. So really tune into that. So I hope that I've shared a little bit about intuition and that you can all realize that it is like a superpower. It's a sixth sense. It's a gift that every human being has. And the people that we describe as being more intuitive and not are people who have just learned how to use it, how to tap into it, and how to trust it. Trust your gut. Trust your intuition. It speaks in whispers. It's very quiet. Sometimes it's just a feeling. Sometimes it's a voice inside your head that guides you. Trust it. It's one of your biggest gifts. So this is Gertrude here in Wellington, New Zealand. Thank you for tuning in from all over the world. I can see my friends in Sweden, in the United States, here in New Zealand. Thank you for tapping in. Give me your comments. And I will be giving you a completely different topic tomorrow. The questions and the topics are coming in fast and furious. And at the rate they're going, if I have the time, I might just broadcast another message at the end of each day so that I can keep up with all of these inspiring thoughts that are being generated by my little nuggets of wisdom. So tune in tomorrow. Good to see you guys again. Bye for now.